to that in a little while, though, as they rev to get away on lap one then. As they head down to Oulton for the first time, this could be messy as everybody seeks to impress the sponsors and riders.
It's like Adam Jenkinson in front.
Yeah, Adam Jenkinson then. That's a great start from Adam Jenkinson from the second row of the grid on the Kenmore construction bike. It is indeed Adam Jenkinson. Well, he won 3 out of 3 right up the front of the championship and just been swamped by Richard Wren's consistency as the year has gone on.
It's not Adam Jenkinson.
It's number 34, of course, who is Mark Pollock, our one to watch from last time out, the Dubliner. Mark Pollock it is that leads on bike 34. And and he runs it up a bit high there. Was weird. It was Adam Jenkinson that stuck right in behind him, though, in second place. That I do know.
Now, Adam Jenkinson, winner here early in the year when he was on his roll of wins.
It's his local track as well, isn't it, for this one, really, Adam Jenkinson? It's got to be considered that now. 117 points Ollie Bridewell will have on corrected. They dropped 2 rounds, 2 scores throughout the year. So 2 times they can drop as far as the championship is concerned. And the points that are left are their points that go forward to determine whether they are going to be finishing ahead of each other. And it's really only Ollie Bridewell that is going to be dropping actual points. The other guys have had no scores in amongst their season, so it makes quite a big difference to Ollie Bridewell, but not much to the people chasing him.
Must be a big luxury for Richard Wren. Already won the championship, won that championship by winning at Cadwell Park, qualified pole here at Oulton Park in 3rd position in the race, and he can ride. Doesn't matter what happens, but I'm sure he just wants to get there, enjoy himself, and win a couple of races at the same time.
24, Richard Wren, already the champion. It must have sunk in by now exactly what he's got coming his way next year, as Adam Jenkinson sneaks up the inside. That was a classy, easy-looking manoeuvre that he made there at Oulton.
Yeah, when Adam won here early in the year, he really did make it easy, just carved through the field, but Mark Pollock fighting back there on the run down to Cascades. But Jenkinson very smooth, back to his old form. Unfortunately suffered some crashes and injuries middle of the year. Here we see him down the inside, number 11, Adam Jenkinson, into Old Hall, down the inside, but still carries his corner speed, uses all the track in the way, and doesn't really lose out to Mark Pollock.
Well, Richard Wren is there in 3rd place. Behind him is Ollie Bridewell. Ollie Bridewell looking to move up next year into Super Sport. And he'd like to thank all his sponsors for a brilliant season as well. So Ollie Bridewell, I've got to say, these young men, they're, well, relatively naive when it comes to the media, but most of them have picked up speed throughout this year and really do seem to have a handle on what's required from them, both on track and off it. I've not been so impressed by a bunch of youngsters as these R6 Cup boys for a great deal of years. And I mean, across the board, you know, they're always running around asking old sages like me and Mackenzie here exactly what they should be doing as far as their off-track performance is concerned, and whether we can help them or not will be a matter of opinion, but we try.
It's nice to be asked.
Indeed.
And of course all these R6s on D28 Dunlops, all on the same tyres. They don't have wet tyres, they don't have dry tyres, so if it starts to rain, the race carries on and goes all the way to the end, so there'll be no stoppages here, unlike the first Superbike round.
Indeed, still it is Adam Jenkinson then out in front. Now Adam Jenkinson sits on 106 points, and he will take all those points forward with him because he already has 2 DNFs that he will use against his drop scores. So 106 points, and this 25 will leave him up the order if he manages to convert that 25 points to the end of the race, of course. Still 34 in second place. Mark Pollock being followed by Richard Wren, the champion of 2004. Still behind him is Ollie Bridewell. Then it's Gareth Glynn, our one to watch, who's in 5th place at the moment, but just put in the fastest lap of the race so far. A 47.3 has gone his way. So Gareth Glynn, this is what he considers his home track, and he will be looking to try and ease that 1.6 down. Connor Cummins is in 6th place at the minute. That's how it looks as they come through Island Corner, down towards Shell now.
Richard Wren in 3rd there. I've been watching him, and he's not thinking about any mad passing move. He's just thinking about getting closer to Mark Pollock, just creeping a little bit closer in the corners, on the brakes, and then when the chance comes, he'll be past him. But Mark Pollock, he's not going slow either. He's still got Adam Jenkinson in his sights. Adam Jenkinson good through that Folsom chicane and up the hill down to the Hislop chicane. Richard Wren right on his tail.
Yeah, Adam Jenkinson looking very, very good there. And a good style. I liked his style right from the day one that we saw him, and really he's had no advantages this year because he's been a total newcomer to a lot of the racetracks that he's been riding at this year as well. Unlike some of the guys who've been out in MRO and other such like championships on other types of motorcycle, I think Adam Jenkinson is one of the least experienced in this field.
Well, he was favourite certainly in the opening races when he, as you said, he had very little experience at some of the racetracks, but did a bit of winning early in the season. He came from Minimoto, cleaned up in the Minimoto Championships for a few years, and then obviously jumped on the bigger R6. Richard Wren, a bit closer again to Matt, looking for a way round now.
Straight through Deers Leap and looking for a way in a place that, well, he'd make it. That would have been a hell of a move. He
needs to do something. Ollie Bridewell there, number 30, he's getting closer.
Well, I think that Richard Wren can hear Ollie Bridewell both sides of him into any given corner, and that'll be Aaron Upwards. Bridewell looks to the inside down Cascades and grabs it. Does he? Not quite. But I tell you what, he must have been rubbing his rear wheel all the way down through the avenue.
Not that far behind Connor Cummins. It could really turn into a 10-way battle here. Connor Cummins, another front runner in a lot of races this year, and he's in 5th position at the moment. He's chasing down Ollie Bridewell.
Guy Sanders is in behind him now. Guy Sanders had a bit of a problem. He had a gearbox problem in qualifying, so he's really got to go for it as far as the race is concerned. Guy Sanders, well, I think he caught up with you before we came on air here at the moment. Guy Sanders is the man I met in Knock Hill. And again, with a lot of these youngsters, they disappear into the crowd and you really wouldn't recognise them. And unless you catch them just before they go out onto the racetrack, it's been a voyage of discovery as far as me and Neil are concerned, to check out the youngsters and make sure we know who we're talking about. Jenkinson, well, in fact, the top 7 so far have been ones to watch in our series as this year's gone on. Yeah,
Guy Sanders also very aware of looking after his sponsors. He did come to me with a whole list of sponsors, and Roof Helmets was one that he's really appreciative for helping him out this year, and hopefully that he can deliver with a few results. Well, talking now in Donington,
Ride by Post actually look after him as well, so I'd like to thank Ride by Post and James Jackson Racing for their support also. So that's Guy Sanders' name checks done. I finally found me Richard Wren piece of paper, and particularly I'd like to thank GT Motorcycles for their help this year. They come in as a bit of a co-sponsor towards JB Riney. Oh, as Richard Wren proves another point. Richard Wren, the champion, then is sliding through into 2nd place on the road as I'm about to read off a list of his sponsors that he'd like to thank, and he forgot to thank at Cadwell Park with all the interviews and of course the adulation that came his way at Cadwell Park when he won the championship, and this is how he did it. A real neat move up the inside there of 34, Mark Pollock. And really, now he sets off after Adam Jenkinson, who was the season favourite at the beginning of the series. So how fortunes change over the course of a few months of racing. And just to get off that list that Richard Wren has been so persistent about making me reiterate since he forgot, Terry Heisman, Dave Horn, Paul Calvert, Cannon Glass, Duke's Head, don't know where they come in, but the Duke's Head, cheers to you lot. Digits, BKS Leather, Knox, Tranam and Arai. There you go. I've read the whole list for Richard Wren. He is the champion, so he deserves it after all, and so do the people that have helped him on the way to that championship. He's in 2nd place at the moment, bike 24, up behind Adam Jenkinson.
Yeah, Richard Wren, he actually contacted us at Two Wheels Only magazine earlier in the year.
Who are they?
Two Wheels Only magazine. Read it, believe it. And he contacted looking for sponsorship, which of course we couldn't do because we've got no budget at all, but Tim Dixon took him on board, did a feature on him, and really took a liking to the lad early in the season before he started on his winning streak, and it was great to follow his progress.
I tell you what, it's getting pretty hectic for 3rd place at the moment as they come over Clay Hill. Richard Wren, I think he might have had the hurry up the front just because of what's going on behind him, Neil.
Yes, now it's a 2-way battle at the front, but it's a 10-way battle pretty close behind for that final rostrum spot.
He is, as you say, an impressive young fella.
There he goes.
A great team behind him, and Richard Wren out front now in front of Adam Jenkinson. Well, there was a time this year where you said he wouldn't have done that, just purely and simply because Adam Jenkinson looks so good.
Adam Jenkinson, these two guys have been, well, they're all strong this season, but these two guys have been my favourites. And Adam Jenkinson earlier in the year, but Richard Wren just improved, and you can see why he is the champion and why he deserves that Virgin Mobile ride for next year.
Guy Sanders has the fastest lap at the moment. Sanders, well, I'm just looking to see where he is. I can't see him on the leaderboard, so I don't know what's happened to Guy Sanders. He's in 6th place, in fact, so he's just locked up
here. And that looks like...
Connor Cummins, that is, and sliding down the road. I recognise those leathers anywhere. He was our one to watch at Snetterton. Number 3, Connor Cummins, the big Manxman. He's a tall young fella from the Isle of Man, for want of a better phrase. Still out front, Richard Wren. Let's take another look at it, shall we? Comes into view at Cascades. Cascading away, just lost the rear end as he came down Cascades. Nice easy off it. There's a place to fall down here at Oulton Park. since they moved the barriers there at Cascades. Of course, he used to just go bumping straight into an Armco barrier there, but they're not there anymore. I tell you what, that is going to spread some muck onto the outside of the track. I'm always dubious whether they should allow them back on like that. We have had a lot of rain here, so there'll be a fair amount of mud and wet grass that will come off his tyre. 24 Richard Wren leads, 11 Adam Jenkinson, 34 Mark Pollock is right in there as well. Ollie Bridewell 46 on bike 4. Gareth Glynn, our one to watch, is 30. He's in 5th place at the moment. Guy Sanders is 42. He's in 6th place. Connor Cummins was in 7th place. And he's now in the dirt.
He certainly is. Richard Wren out in front. I saw Richard Wren at Shell. I was here from that last lap, and he looked like he had a couple of grabs at the throttle. Whether he was in the wrong gear, maybe messed it up a little bit, just looked a little bit unsettled. We can see Adam Jenkinson, number 11, still well in touch there.
I was going to mention Michael Niblett, who is having a disastrous day here at the moment. He's been injured all year long, but he would like me to mention Phil Stone, who sadly at 64 died on Thursday, the 9th of September at home, leaving his wife Margaret and many friends. They're great supporters of Michael, and I know Michael wanted to show them respect if he could on our Sky broadcast here. And he'd like to dedicate his weekend to Phil and to let Margaret know he'll never be forgotten, and he is, of course, sadly missed. So Michael Niblett showing the more sensitive side to some of these young fellas who are obviously out to do the business on the day, but still he has time to come in here and see me and ask if we'll give a mention to somebody who means a lot to him. So good on you, Mike. So Nibbo is way down the order. He was up in 12th place at one point and moving forwards, but he's gone off my leaderboard now, so Nibbo, I think, might be out of this race in a minute. Still, it's Richard Wren on by 24 the lead from 11, Adam Jenkinson. Jenkinson, to me, looks like a man that's going to try and keep hold of that if he can. In other words, go for it a little bit later on.
Like you said, apart from winning the race, there's 10 grand up for stakes if he can finish in that 2nd place in the championship.
Well, 2nd place in the championship is Ollie Bridewell's at the moment, with Adam Jenkinson 3rd, just 11 points behind him on corrected point scoring, so we've got to keep an eye on that. James Hillier is also in with an opportunity, but Hillier is down in 7th place at the minute. He's not doing his championship hopes a lot of good for that. Impressive. You get 50% of your sign-on money back for finishing 2nd, and 30% of your sign-on money back for finishing 3rd in the championship. And of course, you paid £20,000 up front for the privilege of racing in the Yamaha R6 Cup, which is a cheap sign-on fee that includes everything. You turn up, you ride. I tell you what, I wish that was about when I was riding.
Yeah, I still think it's a good deal. It does sound a lot of money, 20 grand, but you spend 20 grand in club race. And the other thing it includes is an 03 R6, so you get a bike as well. You get a bike beginning the season to go testing on. Not the bike that you race on, but it's not cheap to go racing. Oh, a big moment for Richard Wren and Jenkinson.
Wren gets it sideways, Jenkinson hits the rear wheel. No fault of Richard Wren, and he's going to go and check that Adam Jenkinson is okay. That is a very thoughtful situation. No, he's not. He's going to go try and pick his bike up. Okay, our camera shot had me fooled. Well, that was unfortunate for Richard Wren. That's his first big mistake of the year, and I tell you what, that was a slam dunk for Adam Jenkinson as well. Face down in the dirt. I don't think he'll be hurt. He'll just be knocked out for a moment. Good to see. Yeah, get a bit of a thumbs up there, I think. Richard Wren, having first done what a competitor usually does and checks on his motorcycle, then he wanders along to check on the winded Adam Jenkinson. Well, that was gifted Mark Pollock, which will be his first win if he manages to stay where he is at the moment. His first win in the series. So Mark Pollock, the Dubliner, providing he can hold it all together there. He was 3rd. He now leads. We're on lap 8 of 12. Golden opportunity for people to grab big points here now. 25 points for a win, 20 for 2nd place. This is going to be a fantastic situation. Ollie Bridewell is on bike 46. Gareth Glynn is on bike 30. 42 there is Guy Sanders.
Mark Pollock, good lad. Nice to, he was hanging in there in 3rd position, doing a good job, just watching what was going on. But now 34, Mark Pollock in with a chance of a big win here.
Well, he might be in with a big chance, but our one to watch, Gareth Glynn, at his home track, is going to try and take the win today. I said it in our warm-up lap, and really, Gareth Glynn now sees the opportunity. He may not have been able to get on terms with Adam Jenkinson and Richard Wren, but now he feels he has every opportunity to get on terms with 34 Mark Pollock. So, this race is alive, despite the race leaders going off at Old Hall. The yellow flag is out, no passing then along this part into the accident area of Old Hall. Richard Wren it was that asked for the power just a fraction early, lost adhesion, got it sideways, spat him off, took Adam Jenkinson with him. No fault really of Richard Wren's, and certainly no fault of Adam Jenkinson. It was a racing incident, but Adam Jenkinson being, well, you've got to say that kid's been fairly luckless as the season has progressed. I mean, he really did look head and shoulders above everyone else in the first 3 or 4 rounds.
Yeah, he was taking it.
Here we go. Oh,
Thinking about it into Ireland there. We have had a good race success with our ones to watch. You've got to. It's very spooky, but our ones to watch.
oh,
on
that's
a lot
done
of
it.
races.
He's off at Shell.
Oh,
Oh, Mark Pollock run it in a little bit hot at Shell. That has blown it for him on lap 9 of 12. You cannot give that amount of space away. So 30, Gareth Glynn, our one to watch, is out front. You're right, it is spooky.
As I speak, yeah, Mark Pollock, maybe he was a little bit unsettled because Gareth Glynn came down the inside into Ireland, but of course then Mark running there, you could see he was going to lose the front, it was going to be tough. He had to pick it up and run wide. Just not over yet.
It ain't over yet because 46, Ollie Bridewell, another nice young fella who came and saw us earlier on. I'm glad that they're getting the initiative to come and speak with the commentators. They seem to think commentators are special in some way, that they can't approach us or the circuit commentary teams. And really, it's a pretty poor commentator that isn't interested in speaking to these boys.
We all know you're a bit special, Pete. Even though you say it yourself. Now you've said that, we'll get 36 riders coming to see us at
I don't care. We've got loads of room in here at Oulton Park. We've got a real area. This is my favourite commentary position at Oulton Park. I've got to say, it's gorgeous. Many people who want to party here, no problem at all. Still, we have Gareth Glynn that's about to come to the line. He leads from 42, Guy Sanders, who's now slotted into second place. So Ollie Bridewell has slipped back to third place on bike 46. This is what happened. It was down into Lodge Corner. We have seen many fights into this turn. Neil Mackenzie, of course, you remember going back to the Scottish Championship as it was with the late great Steve Hislop and Mackenzie battling it out into that turn. I remind him again because if I remember rightly, he should have had the line, but Mackenzie took it.
Yeah.
Somewhat harshly.
Yeah, I was in the huff at the end, whatever.
So, Glynn leads. Sanders,
Not for long.
Sanders comes through. Guy Sanders, our one to watch from Knockhill. Well, I'll tell you what, he had gearbox problems in practice. He actually took the time to come and see us just before the start of this race to explain what was going on.
And do you know what I said? He rolled off all these sponsors. Can you give me a big up? I said, get to the front and we'll talk about you all day long.
Yeah, well, we can...
He's told, fair play.
We can talk about him, but the trouble is he didn't give us a list of his sponsors here and then.
Next time
we'll get him at Donington Park. Guy Sanders, he'll be happy with the win, I'm sure, though. But he's still got to hold it down. So Gareth Glynn gets edged out again at the infamous Shell hairpin. It's got great banking there, so you can run at it quite hard. I think it's giving these road bike boys on road bike tyres the confidence to stuff it in because they can scrub the speed off as they slip up the hill of Shell.
Standard R6 on D28 Dunlop RRs with just sneaky tyres, but Road tyres, and doing an incredible job here. 42,
Guy Sanders leads from Gareth Glynn in second place, still on bike number 30, and he's looking over his shoulder as they exit Druids and down towards Lodge. It's bumps and bumps, uphill, down dale here at the Cheshire countryside, Oulton Park. Oh, I tell you what, Gareth Glynn got that a bit messy as well as the rest head into Deers Leap. I tell you what, this is a five-man battle at the moment, but you've got to say Sanders out front is looking head and shoulders now as we're on to lap 11 of the 12. This is the penultimate lap. Oh, good move there from 34. Mark Pollock recovering from that mistake he made at Shell just a couple of laps earlier.
And he's still got a lap and a half to get back to the front. That's not impossible.
You can say that again. In Virgin Mobile Yamaha R6 Cup racing, to give it its full name, that definitely is not impossible. 42, Sanders looked like he got a fair breathing space at the front, but suddenly Gareth Glynn has closed him down on this second half of the track. Out to Island Corner. This is Shell, and I thought for a minute there was a lunge coming our way.
Yeah,
from the
it looked
30
like Gareth Glynn was going to return the favour.
The second place man, Gareth Glynn, looking good on the Salvation Racing R6. All of these guys, despite the fact the bikes are all owned by Yamaha and run by Rob McElnay and Virgin.
Fastest lap of the race to Guy Sanders on lap 4, so he has been one of the main men, 146.67.
Indeed, they're all allowed their own sponsors. Oh, I'll tell you what, Gareth Glynn was in there hot. That was a save of the day. Don't forget, you've got to think of your... Oh, and again, it's all out of control. Ride of Cowboy, bucking and rearing, as one of my fellow commentators would have said. Impressive stuff there. I think all he's achieved is he's put off the guys behind him, and now it looks like Gareth has got it sorted. He's scared the life out of him.
It was a nice supermoto backing in moment there, but yeah, still saved it, and then he opened the throttle again here.
And it was Ollie Bridewell who got himself in a mess in the middle of that lot as well. So
worked good for Guy Sanders.
Yeah, definitely. Guy Sanders off the hook out front now. Still it is number 30, Gareth Glynn in second place. The rest of them, I think, are running scared.
that fastest lap of Guy Sanders is second faster than the pole time of Richard Wren.
How often do we see that though in this
Yeah,
R6
they're learning as they go.
Yeah.
Very little track time, couple of practice sessions, and very often in the race, that's when they sneak in the fast laps.
Now, good to see 37 James Hillier. Not much of a mention there for him, of course, but he can make it to second place in the championship. James Hillier up to fourth place now. He's passed Oliver Bridewell, so we really do have a race on our hands here for that second place in the championship. This is going to have a whole new complexion when we finish today.
Guy Sanders, he's had some trauma, but he's back there. He's still in with a chance.
Well, I'm thinking more of Gareth Glynn because he's right on Sanders. 42 Sanders leads, and Gareth Glynn is right back with him again, and we're at Shell.
I was thinking of Gareth Glynn as well.
It's all right.
You knew that.
I'm just trying to help you out a bit there, mate. Still, Gareth Glynn in that second place. This is Guy Sanders out front on 42.
Whoa!
Oh,
Shortcut
tell you
there
what.
through the chicane. He is trying so hard.
You noticed?
Handsome.
Well, he wants to finish second in the championship, and he does not want Guy Sanders in front of him, of course. But Guy Sanders doesn't have a chance of finishing second in the series. That is a fact. Even if he gets these 25 points today, he's too far adrift on 89 points.
Gareth Glynn.
Again.
He's just trying too hard now.
I think he might just have cooked those Dunlops.
I think that he might just have cost them the race as well.
Well, 42 Sanders led off the hook again. You've got to say it's more from consistency.
Because Mark Pollock.
Well, you did say you could still win this race. We are on the final lap. We remind you, in case you missed what it says in the top left-hand corner of your no good looking around. You want to be looking in front of you. Pollock on the outside, Glynn on the inside. Glynn, providing he holds it together, will block, pass, and keep that line. He's got it. It will be Guy Sanders with a fantastic win, but it looks like Gareth Glynn that's going to take second place. Is it Glynn? Yes, it is. Pollock finishes in third place. That was a great comeback from Pollock after a slight mistake earlier on.